The months have flown by and it's time for another wilderness canoe trip. The winter is over and spring is springing. Join me and Aaron as we take some time to explore the country in and around White Sand Lake in the Tobeatic Wilderness area in southwestern Nova Scotia for a spring canoe trip that won't soon be forgotten.
Well, another 6 months has gone by and it's time to go canoeing. Aaron is eagerly anticipating my arrival. And the truck is all cleaned up. It's supposed to rain on Saturday, so it should be really messy and muddy. I've had pretty much non-stop problems with my old Ford this winter, so without getting into too much detail, I've had the transmission in and out of it twice, and there's still other issues. Four-wheel drive is busted and not working, and anyway, it's been a challenging winter, so I'm a little worried about the 550-kilometer drive down to the Annapolis Valley, but I'm trusting we're gonna do all right. Canoe is all loaded, and we're ready for some adventure. Thumbs up for adventure. Let's go paddling.
So for our trip this year, we're planning, it's kind of a loose trip. We're planning to come into Six Lake, carry into Six Lake, paddle down Six Lake, do the carry into Six Lake Stream, and then we're looking for a campsite on Six Lake Stream. I think it's in this area here. We're not really sure. I've looked for it before and couldn't find it. So anyway, we'll go down Six Lake Stream. The plan is to stay the first night on Six Lake Stream, get up the next morning, carry on Six Lake Stream down into Fifth Lake Flowage, take Fifth Lake Flowage into the Burnt Land carry into White Sand Stream, all the way down White Sand Stream, 600 carry, into White Sand Lake and camp here for a couple nights, and then maybe go over to Moosehead, so paddle White Sand, carry 1,000 on the Moosehead Stream, another carry Moosehead Stream, another carry Moosehead Stream, another carry Moosehead Stream, into Moosehead Lake, and maybe camp here on Moosehead Lake for a couple nights, and then return back out through all the carries, and probably stay up on the campsite again on Six Lake Stream, and then out the last night. That's the plan. Maybe. I made the drive from my home in PEI to the Annapolis Valley with the old truck without any issues. Aaron was super excited to see me and to go paddling. He'd been packing and preparing for about 3 months, so he was raring to go. Our trip plan was a loose one, no real big agenda. We had 3 main prerogatives. Find the campsite I'd stayed on 3 times before on Six Lake Stream, which I hadn't been able to find on my own. Play around on White Sand Lake, and travel to the second carry on the way to Moosehead for a spectacular view of Moosehead Stream. This is an area that I haven't really spent a lot of time in, and Aaron had never been beyond Six Lake, so most of this trip was going to be brand new for him. Needless to say, we were both giddy with excitement despite the forecasted rain and windy week. We got the canoe and our gear unloaded at the Six Lake put-in without any issue. The rain was holding off for the time being, which was good. There is a carry from the parking area into the lake, but it's well traveled and it's easy going. We'd been waiting 6 months to paddle another lake, and the time was finally here.
Here we go, Six Lake. Wind is coming up.
As we hit the water, the rain began and the wind came up. It may surprise the casual viewer, but the wind was in our face, a headwind. It doesn't seem to matter what direction you're traveling, the wind always seems to be in your face when you get into the canoe. The day was promising to be dreary, but we weren't letting that stop us from enjoying every minute of our time together out in the woods.
Sixth Lake. 2025. April 19th. Just over a week ago on PEI it was still snowing. So but weather's calm for what, 15 today? 15 today? 15 today and I think 9 overnight, but rain overnight too. We'll see what the trip brings. Toby. Is he in your attic? Who's in your attic? It's Toby. Toby is in your attic. Oh dear. Not my first time saying that. Yeah. Where's the deckhands to throw me a rope to tie us up? Way anchored. Yeah. Looks like a pretty good landing area if we can float it. Nice. That's right. Mm-hmm. Nice. Now, see, Cameron? That's how it's done.
Yes, sir. Dissing the boy already.
Dissing the boy already.
We miss you, Cameron.
With the first lake behind us, we saddled up our packs and started through the carry to 6th Lake Stream. This is another open carry through the woods. It's easy going by Tobeatic standards and it's easy to follow. Shortly into the carry from the 6th Lake end, a four-wheeler path joins into the main trail and it travels all the way to the stream. From this point of the trip on, it will be all new country for Aaron to explore. I'd been here a few times, but my last adventure through this area was with my son Cameron in October on his very first trip in 2018. All of my other adventures in the area were a long time ago now. One in 2004, 2007, and then maybe again in 2009. As the years go by, the details start to blur a little bit.
Oh, wow. It's flooded way up on land. Sixth Lake Stream, flooded.
The difference in the look of the land between low water in the fall, where I've most of my Tobeatic experience, and the high water in the spring can't be overstated. Sixth Lake Stream, in my experience, is often just a little trickle or a quick-moving stream at most. What Aaron and I found was vastly different from my experience in the area. Everything is flooded. Landmarks look different, islands are where there shouldn't be any islands, large bays are formed that shouldn't be there, bends in the stream no longer exist but give way to large, wide expanses of water. We take every opportunity to push over the hardhacks that we get, and we cut every corner that we can. Even though I've been through here a few times, it looks so different in many ways, it feels like new territory.
Dad's taking pictures. making video.
That's so we can remember it.
Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Take some more pictures.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
serious. Right now, look up through there.
Yeah.
It's just gorgeous. Wow.
Paddling on the stream, we were sheltered from the effects of the building wind. The projected forecast called for wind, building through the day and all through Sunday. The water was calm before us, and we soaked up all the scenery that we could absorb as we made our way down the stream towards Fifth Lake Flowage. We began to look for this campsite in earnest as we traveled, but nothing looked remotely familiar to me, and I had very few pictures on those early trips of the campsite on Six Lake Stream. The campsite that we were looking for was found by accident at the end of a long day of unexpected portaging, but more on that later.
Well, we're near the junction of Daniel's Stream or Brook, or
Somebody will need to correct me on that probably.
or Six Lake Stream junction in with Daniel. It's been water's real high. It's beautiful. It's really cool here. It's all swamp and it's peaceful. We have a little bit of rain starting again, but it's pretty spectacular. Overcast and dreary, but
My heart is cheery. Oh, that's a really corny rhyme. We searched the right-hand shore diligently as we made our way down Six Lake Stream. I desperately wanted to find this campsite that I had stayed at so many years before. We made our way farther and farther towards Fifth Lake Flowage, but nothing looked remotely like the campsite as I remembered it. The water was high and the stream was wide. There was a characteristic bleached white root system of a tree on the beach at the campsite, but there were no root systems to be found. We stopped and checked out any spot that may be a campsite, but as we got closer to the flowage, it became apparent that we had missed it. I'm actually starting to wonder at this point if maybe this campsite is just a figment of my imagination.
wow, it's like a lake.
Yes, Ed, it actually is a lake. I didn't understand the magnitude of how much Fifth Lake Flowage actually backs up Six Lake Stream. According to Andy Smith's book, Paddling the Tobeatic, Fifth Lake Flowage backs up Six Lake Stream as much as 3 kilometers in high water. We were still diligently looking for the evasive Six Lake Stream campsite, knowing deep down inside that failure was the only logical outcome at this point. I was watching my Garmin GPS as we traveled along, and according to it, we were still in Six Lake Stream, far from Fifth Lake Flowage. But the reality was that we had now entered the edge of the lake, which is called the flowage due to its drastic change in water levels and how it flows into the incoming Six Lake Stream. Basically, we were lost without being lost. This sounds like an adventure. We had been paddling for a while, and it was time to find some place to stop and have some lunch. We pulled into a landing where a hunting blind had been set up and had collapsed. We actually saw quite a few blinds on our trip in. Conceding defeat, we began to look for an alternate spot to make camp. The day continued to be overcast and dreary, and there was some wind when you get out of the protection of the trees. I knew that we were getting close to Fifth Lake Flowage,
But that's the Fifth Lake flowage that was marked by low water on my GPS and maps, not the current springtime high water. I was still confused as to where we were exactly, and it wasn't until the next morning that I realized that we had actually been in Fifth Lake flowage and not still on Sixth Lake stream. It was inevitable that we were going to have to make camp somewhere unexpected, and that doesn't always lend itself to the most comfortable stay. We continued to scan the shore looking for a suitable, comfortable, and hopefully sheltered spot to camp. Aaron spotted a little camp, kind of like a tiny bunkhouse sitting on the edge of the water, and it looked like a flat and clear space around it, so we made our way over to it to investigate. We got out of the canoe and I looked around, and it seemed like we could make a reasonably comfortable night here, so we unloaded the canoe and began to make camp.
Not great. Not great.
Pitching your tent in a comfortable spot is more important than most people think. Campers who cheat by using a hammock to sleep in, like Aaron, don't get to experience the true joy of sleeping in an optimal spot, or the crushing disappointment of pitching your tent in a less than ideal spot. Sleep on the trail is very important. Without proper sleep, you lack the energy needed to be able to push through the activities of the following day. A good night's sleep helps you to keep your mind sharp and refreshed, and it improves your ability to act fast when needed. I look for a spot that has a slight hollow in it and no bumps, especially where my shoulders will be, and that's comfortable no matter which side or position I'm laying on, whether on my right side or my left side, or if I'm flat on my back. That's not an easy task sometimes when you're out in the woods. A small tent footprint, like my cheapy solo tent from Bass Pro, also helps. When you're backpacking, don't sacrifice how comfortable you'll sleep unless you have no other choice. Or you could just get a hammock and ignore all this old school nonsense of trying to find a great spot to pitch your tent. Here we are at Sixth Lake stream in a island that may or may not be an island, that there's so much water that it looks like we're on some of the biggest Tobeatic lakes, but it's actually Sixth Lake stream, just about Fifth Lake flowage. So in our makeshift campsite, I'll show you around a little bit. So we were coming down the stream and we saw, well, there's a bunch of things. There's a bunch of blinds and different things that we saw that are all new since I've come here, unless I was completely blind last time, which is possible. So we were trying to find a campsite, which we cannot find, that I stayed at 3 different times, long time ago. The most recent was about 15 years ago, roughly 15, 16 years ago, and I cannot find it. Cameron and I tried to find it twice, and Aaron and I tried to find it today, and we cannot locate it. But as you can see, for the amount of water, this is supposed to be just a little piddly stream. Actually, this isn't even supposed to be water. This is flooded swampland. We're going to cut through there to head over to White Sand Stream. But anyway, here's our spot. I got some water filtered, and we decided it's nice and flat. We're going to stay right here. So Aaron's got he's got a brand new quilt for his hammock. So we're going to see if he can stay warm tonight. But woohoo is right. There's my tent all set up. I got supper rehydrating. I'm having turkey chili tonight, so maybe we'll check in a little bit. It's fairly windy too. Winds up high.
Well, here we are in the little camp, making supper. It's tight quarters, in case you can't tell. They're basically sitting on each other's lap. Aaron's duct tape chair. My chair.
Your duct tape can't fix it?
No. So this little spot's pretty cool. They've got her built on a couple of, I don't know what you call them, staves, I guess, right out into the water, almost right into the water. And little window. It's breezy. It's supposed to be windy night, windy tomorrow. I'm having chili tonight. You can see that or not. It's not great light. So turkey chili, as I have all that turkey in the freezer dehydrated. So turkey chili. So looks and smells yummy. I'm hungry. It's about 5 o'clock. Sure. Yeah, right on 5. Well, it's been a good first day.
sitting in the tent early. It's quite breezy and chilly, so we enjoyed some time just chatting in the camp that we're staying around. It's a tiny camp. It'd be 6 by 8 maybe. Pretty small space with a bunk in it and countertop and stuff. But no, it's been a good day, and it's been kind of relaxing. I had a nap this afternoon, and now it's early evening. I'm not sure what time it'd be, 7 maybe, and I'm just ready to do some reading. So I'm going to close out the day by just resting in the tent. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Well, we decided to get a little fire going this morning. We've also decided to stay put. They were forecasting strong winds, gusting up to 80 or 90 kilometers an hour. And the flowage, as I showed yesterday, was pretty big. And we got whitecaps and growing waves and all kinds of stuff. We've got the shelter of this little camp unexpectedly, so we've decided to just kind of stay put here. We're not in any big rush. We don't have a big agenda on this trip, so we're just gonna hang around the camp today and got a little fire going. There's Aaron. Look at those yellow canary yellow crops. Shake those around. So Aaron said, let's get a little fire going. So we didn't have one yesterday, but we were gonna have one today. We're using the camp kind of as shelter for it, so we can just get a little warm from it. Actually, it feels real nice. The weather's been strange too. It was quite mild when we got up this morning. It's yeah, she's cool here this morning. So anyway, nice little fire. We're just gonna take it easy today. Well, I decided to go out for a stroll here. Look around. The sun is out and it is brilliant, sparkling off the water. The wind is still kicking up. Here's a fire pit that I would say the builder of our camp. My guess is this camp is only about a year old, built last year sometime. So he's got a fire pit here, but he's never had a fire in it. I think maybe at one time there was a fire pit here, but hard to tell. A bunch of little stones down here. Anyway, I decided I'm going to walk around. We're on an island that's not supposed to be an island because the water's so high and flooded. So I'm going to walk around, take some pictures, take some shots as I do a little bushwhack around. There's a whole bunch of new growth pine on this island that we're on. Anyway, fun times, exploring and relaxing. I love layover days. We had a couple of them planned for this trip already, and this was an additional unplanned one. Layover days allow for relaxation, exploration, camaraderie. This was the first of those days on this trip. My walk around the island that we were on in Fifth Lake Flowage was a lot of fun. The island was mostly open with some new growth evergreens and quite a bit of deadfall on the northern part of the island. I stopped lots as I made my way around the entire perimeter, soaking in the sun which was absent the day before, feeling the wind on my face, and watching the waves roll into the shore. These are the types of moments that often become the best memories of each trip that I'm on. At the western end of the island, facing towards White Sand Stream, was a large, flat pine knoll. It was quite open, and someone long ago had built a floor for a camp. From what I could see, it had been there many years, unfinished. It's fun to wonder about the plans that were made for that spot that were never realized. I expect we'll never know the history, but someone else had found this beautiful little spot of God's creation and had intended to make many memories there. I got back from my circuit around the island and pulled out my book to do some reading. Aaron had kept the little fire going while I was out wandering. The campsite was feeling very welcoming. You're the star of the show.
That's my hair.
Yeah. Oh, you need to comb it. Oh, the wind. Man, it's churning up out there. Holy. What?
Tell them that the tree fell.
Oh, yeah. What were we doing?
Messing with the fire.
Messing with the fire, and there's a big crack, and some tree broke in the wood somewhere. It's loud. Aaron's got his tarp for his hammock tied up to the canoe to help support it because it keeps coming loose. It's a fierce day, a good day not to be on the water.
Well, here we are in the little cabin that, I don't know what you call it, bunkhouse, that I didn't think we'd use at all. We were actually just talking about this, but we've ended up spending quite a bit of time in here, being out of the wind, yeah. So we're in the process of making our supper. We've kind of lazed away the afternoon, which has been nice. It's super windy and cold. We just keep adding layers of clothes. So we both got our winter coats on and our long undies and all kinds of other good stuff. We're just making supper. I'm making chicken dinner tonight. I'll show you a picture of it later. What are you making here?
Ham, potatoes, and vegetables.
Oh, that's right, the dehydrated ham. So this is a first. I've never tried this. I'm planning to try it in the fall, but anyway, Aaron's being a pioneer here, and he's making some rehydrated ham. So it is Easter. It's Easter Sunday.
It's Easter Sunday.
That's right. We were singing. I was singing. I guess there wasn't a lot of we, was there?
No.
I was singing some familiar Easter hymns.
I didn't want to clear the room.
You want to clear the room. Anyway, we're making supper, and we'll check back. Man, the ham looks good. We'll check back later on.
I wish I had gravy.
Why didn't you bring some?
Gravy is good.
Happy Easter, Aaron.
Happy Easter, bud. Cheers.
Sunday night, wonder what everyone's doing.
Probably singing.
I doubt it. We woke up rested and ready to move forward with our trip Monday morning. It looked like it was going to be a sunny day. We had a comfortable stay in our makeshift campsite, but now it was time to move on.
"8:30, Monday morning. Easter Monday, actually. Things are blue and the wind is high.
We got out on the water, hoping to avoid the wind of the previous day. We were a bit sheltered at our campsite from the brunt of the wind, but Fifth Lake flowage was a big body of water, and the wind was pushing across it. We could see the waves building already out toward the middle of the lake, the exact place where we needed to go to make our turn south toward White Sand Stream. At least there were no whitecaps for the moment. We moved out across the water with purpose. We were unsure if we could paddle right into White Sand Stream, avoiding the burnt land carry, or if we would need to do the carry. Paddling here in high water was all new to me.
So, because we got stuck, we stayed kind of right here as our campsite. So this was all flooded here. Flooded back in, so this carry wasn't necessary. So anyway, so we stayed here. So our new plan is to cut off, which is over ground, and go into White Sand Stream. And because of our layover day, we've decided not really to try for Moosehead, but to go in and stay on White Sand Lake, maybe camp over here and do some playing around, and then head back out and maybe try to find this campsite again, which we weren't able to find. As you know, that's our new plan. Well, we got a little bit turned around in this enormous Fifth Lake flowage. That's actually where we camped. We camped on Fifth Lake flowage, just like the overflow. So we weren't on Sixth Lake Stream at all like we originally thought. But anyway, we were heading for the opening of White Sand Stream, and we got a little bit turned around in the flowage and started going the wrong direction, and there's still... Yeah, there's super wind, so we had to go into the big rolling swells. A couple times the canoe lifted it up and slapped it to the water. Anyway, we made it to, actually it's a flag right here. Where's the flag? Somewhere's here. There is a little tiny orange flag. There's a beat trail to the carry. We're about halfway to what they call the burnt land carry in Andy's book, to White Sand Stream. So we're gonna pick it up there and head to the stream. I think I'm recording all this nonsense. Yeah. Right up onto the burnt land carry. Go ahead. I'm trying to think where I put my flagging tape. I don't know. Oh, I put it in my pack. I remember doing it. Look, a blue ribbon. Who uses blue ribbons? Ed uses blue ribbons. Who's the good boy? Who's the good boy? Who's the good boy? Man, this is wide open. Nice.
The Burnt Lands Carry is a 600-meter portage from Fifth Lake flowage to White Sand Stream. We were going to try to paddle the mouth of White Sand Stream, but we got turned around out in the flowage. The wind was strong and the waves quite large, and they were on our side. We had little choice but to turn into them or risk capsizing. We made our way against the wind in the wrong direction. We beached the canoe and bushwhacked up to the portage.
Wow. So much water. Wow, flooded. It's gonna be a problem.
The landing at the end of the Burnt Land carry was completely flooded. We had quite a job to get the canoe into the water and our gear loaded. There were little flooded channels throughout the hardhacks, and we were able to drag the canoe through them while we were sitting in it out to the main part of White Sand Stream. It was tough, especially in the beginning where we had to make a very sharp turn with the loaded canoe without enough room to turn it in. All in a day's work in the Tobeatic.
The leaves are lovely.
Hardhacks must be tough as nails because they don't lose their leaves.
No. They're flooded completely, 100% underwater, still living.
Yeah. All praise to hardhack.
Yeah.
If only we could be that tough.
It foamed. There's a big rock.
Look at that big rock.
Yeah. Cool.
Wow.
We're still catching some wind.
Oh, big time.
Not doing much on the water, but I can feel it on my back. Carrying us right along.
Probably going 5 to 6 mile an hour.
Look up in there.
Yes, sir.
That doesn't scream campsite. I don't know what does.
Yeah. Anything with pine.
Look at the big rock up in there. Wow. Man, that looks like a campsite.
Want to go look?
Yeah, why not?
See it is.
Yeah, let's go look. Look at the trail up in the water. Let's go look. Oh yeah.
That's a campsite.
Yeah, it looks like sticks right on the. I think we found the wind.
Surprisingly, today was the day that we were going to find a campsite, and we weren't even looking for one. This was a pretty cool spot. Nice water views of White Sand Stream, a good little fire pit, and places for tents or hammocks, and a couple of large rocks standing guard at the back of the site. This might be a good spot to plan to stop and visit in the future.
The water was high on White Sand Stream, just like it had been on Sixth Lake Stream and Fifth Lake Flowage. The stream flooded back into the hardhacks, submerging rocks that would normally be poking up above the water in lower water conditions. The sun was out and it was a beautiful day for a paddle. Down on the stream we were mostly protected from the worst part of the wind, but we would occasionally get gusts or some small wave action. All in all, it was a great day to be in the woods paddling, and we were excited to reach the campsite on White Sand Lake to set up for another couple of nights.
Just to the left, just do under the water.
Big one on the left. That little one. And then keep going like that.
Oh, another one right in the middle of the run. Hard left when you get through. Right here. Turn it on. Good. Not good.
Still good there?
Yeah, quite a few. They're low.
Straight ahead?
Yeah, straight. Out a little to the left. Right there. Swing her hard to the right. Now we're floating. We're good.
Hey, what's down there? What's up there?
We're good, yeah.
This is cool. This is a landing boulder?
It is Boulder Land.
Boulder Land!
There's a big boulder.
Yes, sir. Might be campsite life.
Everything is campsite.
Everything is campsite.
There you go. The pine trees probably campsite.
Oh, that's a good campsite. Can't hang there, but that's a good campsite.
I'd say you can climb that rock.
Yes, sir. Probably can't get to it.
It'd be swampy.
It is swampy.
Next time. Go for it.
You're eating.
Jesus.
Cheesy.
Hey, you look good. Oh, I look good.
You do look good.
Hey, thank you.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! I'll do my hair today.
All right, through the woods.
See you on the other side, bud.
It sounds like you're dying. See you on the other side. I'm hoping we're in this together. See you on the other side. I'll save you a seat. This carry is wide open. Amazing carry, really. Wide open. It was really easy walking through with the packs. I thought it felt short, it's supposed to be 600 meter, but Aaron said it felt like 1200, so I guess we have a discrepancy. Lush follows right along the stream. It's about 20 to 12, so we should be at the campsite at around lunchtime, late lunch on White Sand Lake. Looking forward to it.
The morning made its way to the early afternoon and the sun was shining. All of the different weather types are neat to experience out in the woods. There's just something about surviving in the wilderness that's so appealing and rewarding. We had a lovely paddle up White Sand Stream, but it took us slightly longer than we were anticipating. We occasionally would get gusts of wind that would push us around, but we were mostly sheltered on the swollen stream. By early afternoon, we maneuvered our way through the rocks into White Sand Lake.
We want to hug the shore here to the left, and then we got to turn. We're right up in this pine knoll here.
Okay.
Rather than get out in the wind, though, let's stay in tight.
Is that the first camp there on the point? Yeah,
Right up
it
here,
is.
yeah?
No, over here. College, I mean.
Oh, yeah, must be it. I never paid much attention to the camps. White sand.
White sand. You say we go around that point?
Around this point up.
Yeah.
Right into the wind. Big one poking out next to this tall one.
Huh?
There's one poking out to our left.
To the left? Yeah.
In lower water, there's beach everywhere, it's all the way around. Look at them all poking out.
Beautiful.
There's one poking out right just off the left of the bow. Way up there. There it is. See it?
Yep.
And there's one poking out right off the point.
Yep. Got it.
We're almost there, but make this turn very close. Up in these pines here. Ooh, that's a big one. More white sand beaches.
Wow.
See the one over behind the big rock over there? No more. Oh, there's a big one. Holy. We can play around and go see them all. Yeah.
How many this beach is ours?
I think this one here is ours, right here.
After a nice paddle from Fifth Lake Flowage and a couple of carries, we were glad to see the campsite up ahead with its welcoming sandy beach. All around the perimeter of the lake, white sand beaches could be seen dotting the shoreline. It was going to be a great couple of days of exploring. The first campsite on White Sand Lake is a pretty nice spot. It isn't very sheltered, but it has great views of the lake as you're out on a pine point. From the campsite, you can see the many white sand beaches that the lake gets its name from all around its perimeter. We got busy rehydrating our supper and getting camp set up. We planned to spend the next 3 nights here before heading back out the way that we came in, back out to Six Lake and the truck. I, of course, can't be content sitting still, so I felt the need to go stomping all around our home for the next 3 nights. I climbed up over the hill, I bushwhacked through the thick hardhacks down to the water, and my personal favorite, I climbed out on some rocks and I played.
Playing on the rocks.
For supper, I made an ambitious meal for the first time, orange chicken casserole, which turned out pretty dang tasty. It was complicated, but it was good.
Bar. I'm trying.
Here, maybe? Needs more smoke, though.
Days in the woods are best ended with a fire. As you can see, our fire this night got off to a pretty smoky start. Once we got it going, though, we had a lovely fire. There is something inexplicable about the peace and tranquility of watching a fire while you are out camping.
Is that where you're sitting?
It was the end of another fun day in the woods. We relaxed around the fire for the evening, eating what I call the indestructible treat. It's my belief that you could stomp on your bag of marshmallows and they would be fine for around the campfire later that evening. They're basically indestructible.